Do you know what hurts more than failure? Never trying at all. And do you know what is more bitter than losing? Growing old while wondering, what if I had been brave back then? That is not a question. That is torture. I want to talk straight with you today. Not to make you comfortable, but because you need to hear this. There are millions of people out there whose lives are not bad. They have jobs. They have routines. They wake up in the morning, they pay bills, they sleep at night. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is broken. But also, no one is alive. They play it safe. Every single day. Every single decision. Every choice is picked based on one main criterion. The one with the lowest risk. The one least painful if it fails. The one easiest to explain to others if asked why. And maybe you are one of them. Not because you are weak. Not because you don't have dreams. But because the world has taught you since childhood that playing it safe is wise. That taking risks is foolish. That big dreams are for other people. Not for someone like you. They say, be realistic. They say, don't aim too high. It hurts when you fall. They say, that's already good enough. Why ask for more? And slowly, you believed them. You started shrinking your dreams to fit other people's expectations. You started trimming your vision so you wouldn't stand out too much. You started living within the boundaries that others drew for you, not the boundaries you chose for yourself. And that is the real problem, not failure. Not a lack of money, not a lack of connections or opportunities. The problem is that you have stopped before you even started. You have surrendered in silence, while pretending your life is perfectly fine. I want you to reflect on this. Playing it safe does not mean there is no risk. Playing it safe is actually the biggest risk you can take in life. Why? Because when you play it safe, you don't avoid pain, you only delay it. You don't avoid failure, you only replace it with regret. Regret is far heavier to carry than failure. Failure has an expiration date. Failure happens, you feel it, you learn from it, and you move on. But regret? Regret has no expiration date. Regret lives with you. It sits at your dinner table. It lies next to you at night. It whispers every time you see someone else brave enough to do what you once wanted to do. So the question is not, am I ready to fail? The right question is, am I ready to regret for the rest of my life? Because those are your only two actual choices. Not success versus failure, but action versus regret. And I believe deep down inside, you already know the answer. If you are still here, it means there is a part of you that wants to change. That part might be small, but it exists. And I want to speak directly to that part. This is not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Today, you are pumped up. Tomorrow, you are lazy. You cannot rely on something you cannot control. What you can control is a decision. And a decision can be made right now, before you feel ready, before all conditions are perfect, before all doubts are gone. Step 1. Stop negotiating with yourself. You know what needs to be done. You already know. You know what business you want to build. You know which relationship you need to fix. You know what bad habit you need to leave behind. The problem is not information. The problem is that you keep negotiating. Later. Wait for the right time. After this is done, then I'll start. That is not careful consideration. That is procrastination disguised as a reasonable excuse. Stop it. Make a decision today. One real decision. Not a plan. A decision. There is a difference. A plan can be revised tomorrow. A decision changes something today. Step 2. Change your daily measure of success. All this time, you've been measuring your day by the results. How much did you get? How much did you finish? How much did you earn? But results cannot always be controlled. What can be controlled is effort. Starting today, ask yourself every night. Not, what did I achieve? But did I go all in today? Did I give the best I could possibly give? With the time, energy, and resources I had today? If the answer is yes, sleep peacefully and continue tomorrow. If the answer is no, don't wait for tomorrow to start again. Start now, even if it's already 11 p.m. Discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is your way of telling yourself, I'm serious enough to do this even when I'm not in the mood. Step 3. Stop asking for permission. This is the least talked about, but it is often the root of the problem. Many of us are still waiting for permission. Waiting for validation from a partner, from parents, from friends, from a boss, from anyone we consider an authority over our lives. We wait for them to say, yes, you are allowed to dream that big, before we dare to take a step. But that permission will not come. Because the people whose permission you are waiting for, they are afraid too. They're playing it safe too. And seeing you being brave threatens their comfort zone. Your life is yours. The only permission you need is your own. Step 4. Let the process be uncomfortable. This is what separates people who actually change from people who just want to change. Discomfort is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. Discomfort is a sign that you are growing. Muscles don't grow from rest. They grow from strain. Character is not built from ease. It is built under pressure. So when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel afraid, when you feel like backing down, that is not a signal to stop. That is a signal that you are in the right place. Feel the discomfort and keep moving anyway. There is one more thing I need to tell you here, and this is often missed. You don't have to have all the answers before you start. Most people wait until they know exactly what the outcome will be, exactly how far the road goes. They want to see the complete map before taking a single step. But life doesn't work that way. You can only see as far as your current step illuminates. The first step opens the path for the second step. The second step opens the path for the third step. You cannot see the third step from a standstill position. So stop waiting for a complete map. Grab a compass, pick a direction, and move. That is what everyone who finally arrived at their dream destination did. Not because they were smarter, not because they were luckier, but because they moved with incomplete information, with imperfect courage, with half-hearted conviction. And they kept moving anyway. Uncertainty is not an excuse to stop. Uncertainty is the default condition of everything worth having in this life. I want to tell you a story about someone. There was a woman, let's call her Rania, age 29, working at a pretty good company, decent salary, stable career. Every night she opened a folder filled with business ideas. She knew there was an opportunity, but she never started. Wait, you're not ready. It's too risky. 2 years became 3 years. 3 years became 4. Her friends started almost the exact same business. Within 18 months, that business thrived. Rania wasn't angry at her friend. She was angry at herself. The only difference? Her friends stopped waiting. Are you that Rania? Your life is not a rehearsal. Make one decision. One small step. Not tomorrow. Tonight. Stop playing it safe. Stop waiting. Enter your life completely. All in. Today. Starting now.